Hello, everyone, and welcome to D&D News. How are you all doing on this fine day? I'm Greg Tito, and I have a mug here for you all to enjoy along with me. This one is one of our first mugs that we created, which I have here at my house, which means if you hold it up this side, you don't get no ampersands. But if you hold it up on this side with your left hand, you can show your ampersand to the world, which is what I like to do for y'all right now. Of course, that means because of the way the setup is, I can't drink in such a way so as to display it. But c'est la vie. That's how we roll here. I want to let you know that I spent probably way too much time trying to figure out my mini cam setup. Here it is. Yay, look at all my turtles hanging out with y'all. These are my turtles. Can you see us? Can you focus a little bit better? All right, that's them. We'll be going back and seeing some more miniatures from my mini cam. You can actually see it here, right there, rather. That's the video. It's like my phone back there is now showing off these guys in all their glory. Hello. Does it look in focus? It does not look in focus to me, but you let me know, and I will endeavor to fix. You know, I'm always trying to improve things. One thing I have not improved is the mess that is my room, I guess. My gaming room here has gotten even more disarrayed. I have not had the time, honestly, to fix it up and spruce it up for you. But each time I am on here on this camera with y'all, I want to be able to show a little slice of life. That's kind of what we're doing here on D&D stuff. Let me check in with you guys on the chat to see how things are going and whether the video is looking good. Looks okay on my end. I see you, DC. What's going on? I see Black 3. Yeah, mini cam. That's right. Total cam, says Trob19. Wild Rose Mage, how you doing? Hannah Rose is doing some good stuff. This is the news, Dark Delegate, I should say. We are trying. We're making it happen. We're making news wherever we can for Dungeons and Dragons. And I want to give a shout out to Wild Rose Mage, as I did on Twitter today, because her image is part of our amazing event last year, D&D Live 2019. The Descent is up for a award. That's right. The amazingness of making things happen. The U.S. Drum Marketing Awards announced their finalists a little while ago, and we are happy to see that our event is up there on the finalist list for events and or experiential marketing. So yeah, pretty cool, fun stuff. We'll see what happens. I hope it makes it, into the finalist type of thing, but we shall see. It's always fun to get some idea of what is happening for, some recognition for everything that we're doing here in the Dungeons and Dragons world. Our previous events have been able to win some awards in the past, so that's kind of cool. And we like to make sorry, I'm just checking on a couple of things. So we like getting that recognition, and thank you for that, for all of you. I was just reading the chat here, so thank you for saying congrats. And the tweet is out there now, so I'm hoping that the judges are taking a look at our event and seeing what they can do. No awards for the Descent quite yet, but fingers crossed we can make it happen. Actually, that's not true. We did win one award for the Ascent, and that was, I believe, the Marcom Awards. We won a gold Marcom Award. So things keep rolling in, and of course, we are excited to do a lot more stuff for this year. Some things you'll find out about that in the D&D news to come. But I wanted to highlight for you, as I do on this show, some of the fun things that are coming for Dungeons & Dragons that you might not have heard of. I like to show off some miniatures, as I'm doing here with my turtles, doing their fun little dance. Are they about to dance? I think they might be a dance. And by dance, I mean they're entering combat. and it's going to be making things happen. But I want to say that we will be going through some fun press that's happened over the last week, as well as show off D&D Rewind, which goes in on all of the highlights from this here channel on twitch.tv/D&D over the last week. Some fun role-playing moments. And then I will round it off with opening up some boxes of miniatures from our friends at WizKids and showing them off with my cam. So does that sound like a plan, everyone? You get to see it all happen in its glory or lack thereof, because let's be honest, this doesn't look as awesome as it did in the studio, but we're making it work. But I can do this because it is a little bright. I'm seeing like a hot spot back here, where, let's be honest, the hot spot should be right here on my face. If I had my phone, I would be able to do some fun Alexa type things, but I will do it anyway with this by saying, Alexa, set GR7 to red. Oh, actually, no, I think I changed the name already.
Did you mean game room?
No, I didn't mean game room. Alexa, set the mind flayer to red. Does it work?
Sorry, I didn't find a device named GR7.
Nope, you didn't, did you? Alexa, set mind flayer to red. Let's see if it happens. Come on. It did. Yay. I love it when a plan comes together. Alexa, set mind flayer to purple. Much better for the Underdark, don't you think? All right. Let me tell you about some fun news that has come out this week. First off, with this article from... Uh-oh, that didn't work. Let me just do it manually. Here you go. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Did you think that you'd be hearing about Dungeons & Dragons live play on the Wall Street Journal? Well, I sure did not. But nevertheless, the Wall Street Journal wrote this article about Dungeons & Dragons players also battling cyber foes online. It's not exactly what is happening, but it's a good article. It goes through telling, I'll let you know what it's all about. Role-playing gamers are moving en masse to video conferencing amid coronavirus lockdowns. There's a lot of compound words in that subhead, but the pullout quote is very true. Dungeons & Dragons has had a renaissance in popularity in recent years. Yes, it has. So it's good to see that the Wall Street Journal is picking up on that. We've been, honestly, on a PR level, been pitching in many of the stories that we wanted to tell for Dungeons & Dragons to editors at the Wall Street Journal. This one made it through because it was written by the guy who does cybersecurity as a beat for the Wall Street Journal, which is awesome. But that's why a lot of the article has to do with battling cyber foes, because it is actually about making sure that the tools that you're using are safe. Luckily, and of course, all of the partners that we work with, as well as Dungeons & Dragons itself, is committed to everyone's safety, as well as each of the individual platforms, making sure it be known that all parents and children should be using safety tools whenever possible when engaging online. But it is really cool to still see something like the Wall Street Journal cover what is happening in the Dungeons & Dragons world, and so we'd like to give them a shout out. So thanks for that. Also up this week was this story from Forbes, talking all about the free content that we have been producing and publishing online for the last week or so. Dungeons & Dragons is not just a great escape, but a chance to keep seeing friends and making memories. Yes, that's very true. I would agree. That is the way to make memories. Amazing, adventurous memories going forward, and I hope more people do. So thank you for that article, and I want to make sure I know who wrote that article, because I have an idea. It is someone that I might know. Is it someone? Let us know who it is for us today. Rob Wieland, thank you for writing that article. You're a good person, Mr. Rob Wieland. And I do want to give a shout out to James Rundle from the Wall Street Journal for writing up the story that I mentioned earlier. That ran yesterday. Going back to the Wall Street Journal piece, that ran yesterday in the website, but it also ran in the print edition today. So those of you at home perusing your paper Wall Street Journal while also listening to the dulcet tones of me describing D&D news, well, look no further, because you have come to the right place. Wait, I don't know if that's necessarily true. But it is, and I want to make sure I get this right. It was in the technology section on page B4. So before you come at me, you better check it. Yeah. All right. So looking in on the chat here, you could add your PCs to D&D Beyond. Dun, dun, dun. That would be very cool. I do like what Greg Tito is saying, although he is making me get very happy about being the last Greg standing in the D&D universe. Just kidding. That's not really one of my things. But maybe it is. Greg Tito. No, you're cool. Actually fight. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want to get somewhere. This is a cool idea. I don't know. Throwing this out to some folks out there. If you could have your D&D characters that you've made over all time and then have them actually fight with each other. Yeah, that might be fun. We can make it happen. Maybe. I don't know. There's got to be some programmer out there that can make that happen. But the Forbes article mentioned the Dungeons and Dragons tips that have been, like I said, that we've been publishing. It's at the Stay at Home, Play at Home header for figuring out how to play online. For those of you who have not yet jumped into that, there's lots of tips and tricks for making that happen. There's also tons of free material such as adventures, coloring book pages, all of the above. I've been loving seeing folks now taking the coloring book pages that we're posting, coloring them in, maybe even digitally or just with crayons and other art supplies, and then posting them back online. If you do that and you tag me at Greg Tito on Twitter, I will certainly retweet that because I think that's awesome. So yesterday, Monday, April 20th, we released Tyranny and Flan, which is an adventure for characters of levels 5 through 10. That is available for free for a limited time through April 26th. So very limited. You got to get in there and do it. And the story of this is the maimed virulence has come. The future of the Cinnabar throne and the lives of the denizens of Flan are in jeopardy. The cult of the dragon rejoices, and the Black Fist is powerless to stop them. How will the factions of this city respond to this threat? Can Flan be saved? This time? Question mark. By authors Greg Marks, yay! Claire Hoffman, what? Chris Tulak, yeah, and Travis Woodall, woo! Those are all good people that I know from the D&D Adventurers League team. Many of them have been admins for a long, long time, and we salute thee for writing this adventure from the first season of D&D Adventurers League here in 5th edition. So download it and get it while you can for free from various different ways out there. And then there's a Manticore coloring page. Who has not yet colored their Manticore? You must do so. You must. All right. I feel like I should had a whole bunch of minis here to show off, but I only got one. So let me throw it up here. You can see my mini cam as I do it. This is just this little guy. Hi. He says, hi. How are you? I'm a mini cam guy. Does it look in focus? It looks out of focus for me, so please tell me if it looks good or not. That's the whole point, was that I was trying to get these to be focused. It seems to get in focus when my finger's there. And then out of focus again. Dang it. we're trying a different setup. I can't even look at that anymore. Sorry. We're trying a different setup this time with the cam using a Zoom call. Those of you love Zoom out there. So that's my phone is actually connected to a Zoom call, which then is displayed on another monitor up here. Then I'm capturing that video on there. But it is having some of the same problems by figuring out it wants to focus in on this. So I'm going to move it. Maybe that'll solve the problem or maybe make it worse. Hard to tell, really, but we shall see. Actually, it does look a little bit better. Here, what do you guys think? Slightly more focused. We'll solve this problem. It's only 3 weeks in. We'll make it happen. I also wanted to do something that I forgot. See, I have these pins. This is a pin of Imrith from Penny Arcade. You can see the... oh, there it is. Authentic. Penny Arcade 2016. But I lost the backing for it. But I wanted to put the backing right here so I can just start decking out my microphone holder thing a little bit more. But I feel like if I leave it there, it'll fall like that. And then all of a sudden there'll be a pin sticking up and then my poor foot will step on it and it'll go, ow, which is no bueno. All right. So we went over the news about what is happening. But one thing that I did not go over was this. Mythic Odysseys of Theros. Mythic Odysseys of Theros. These covers look so cool, don't they? They are some of my favorite, most colorful covers that we have ever seen grace a adventure from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I can't wait for this. The source book is based on the plane of Theros from Magic the Gathering. It is now part of the standard rotation for Magic cards, this set, but it is based on Greek myth. Not one-to-one. There's not like, this is Zeus and then, having an analog in there, but it is based on the idea of classical cultures. And by classical, I mean Roman, Greek, early Persian, that type of idea. Not necessarily the medieval fantasy that you see throughout most of D&D 5th edition, especially the Forgotten Realms, but the olden times, right, with bronze and spears and helmets and hoplites and phalanxes and medusas and all types of mythical monsters, large quests. The underworld is a big part of the Theros mythos, the mythic mythos of Theros. But it's very exciting, and that comes out on June 2nd. You'll be able to access that digitally through D&D Beyond, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds on that date, which we're really excited about, not to mention getting the hardcovers. Two covers are available, and we're running a special promotion that I want to let you all know about right now, which is that if you pre-order or buy the Theros books through your local game store. That's right, any store that is in the WPN, which is the Wizards Preferred Network of game stores. If you purchase Theros through that, you will get a unique code for a 50% off discount for Mythic Odysseys of Theros on D&D Beyond, which is fantastic. I know there are lots of folks out there who love the convenience of using Dungeons & Dragons content digitally on D&D Beyond, not only to build characters, but also just quick reference when you're on the go or just wanting to search, honestly. So you'll be able to get a code to purchase that in D&D Beyond at half the price, which allows us to really focus on the friendly local game stores right now. Everything that's been going on through closures as well as safety measures for small businesses like game stores, it's hitting them hard, and we want everyone out there, myself included, to try to help out these stores and purchase some awesome stuff that you love, like Dungeons and Dragons, through them and help them out during this time. So this is a way to do that so that you get the convenience of having awesome content when you want it, but also help out stores, and we really hope you do so. There's a lot of stores out there that are not open, but are figuring out ways to do deliveries or leave packages of games and or Dungeons and Dragons materials out front so that you can kind of take out what you need in order to play with your group. So we encourage everyone out there to do that if they can, because, like I said, these small businesses, these game stores are in many ways the beating heart of communities around the world, and we at Dungeons and Dragons salute them and want to give incentives for you out there to bring your business there if you can. That'd be fantastic. Make it happen. I was mentioning Theros. That's pretty cool. I also want to give some quick shout outs to these products. I'll have the physical one right here. This is a Flump. Hello, Mr. Flump. I am here, and I like to dangle by my eye stalks. Ow! I'm making the Mind Flayer nervous with this talk of flumps. Alexa, set the Mind Flayer to pink. Maybe it changes color based on this flump and his colors right here. I don't think that worked. Alexa, set Mind Flayer to pink. Let's see.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Sorry to everyone who has an Alexa and thinks that I'm talking to it right now. So apologies for you out there. We got to figure out ways to change up the lighting while using a phone for that, as well as voice commands. We'll figure it out one day. Oh, wait. I don't think I could do that. Maybe there's a web interface. Maybe it can even clue into my OBS or my Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck. I can do it. I know it. We will level up this D&D news and make it happen. I promise. But anyway, adorable figurines of power. Wait, now how does it go? Figurines of adorable power. These are from our friends at Ultra Pro. They are very cute. Vinyl, no sharp edges. Perfect gift to give to your toddler. I can just see someone who is teething, wanting to get their gums on this. Totally safe. It also has this one movable arm, so that's kind of cool. I have taken to fiddling with this amazing figurine of adorable power during meetings, and it's giving me power, the endless power to take over the world. Well, not really, but I'm trying. I'm certainly trying. I think that's cool. So check those out. Maybe you can pre-order or order those through your friendly local game store, since they are carried by Ultra Pro, which is pretty cool. The other thing I want to tell you about is these D&D Mad Libs. D&D Mad Libs. D&D Mad Libs. Who has loved Mad Libs when they were a kid? Well, now you can enjoy them with Dungeons and Dragons stylings. They're all stories within the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and you can insert parts of speech, such as verbs or adverbs or adjectives. You throw in some crazy names and things out there, and then all of a sudden you read the story with the blanks filled in with the words that you put in, and it's hilarious, usually. Or in this case, maybe it's adventurous, and it feels like you are going on an adventure. All right. Get those out there while you can. And, checking in on the minicam, that's a white dragon. You can't really see the face of. Oh, what about that guy? Hey, I am a white dragon. I look like a Skepsis. Yes, that's them. All right. Guess what, folks? It is time, because it is 3:30. This is always the time where we take a look at some of the highlights over the last week on twitch.tv/D&D. It's this week's D&D Rewind. Let's take a listen and watch, shall we? Shall we?
I'm going to shove the butter inside the dragon's head and point it at the ground beneath the one that we can clearly see, and cover a 10-foot square with grease.
Okay.
So it like vomits grease.
The-
So you have a
The
dragon
staff-
staff that's like I'm like
it's like
imagining
vomiting
Inuyasha
grease.
for some reason. Like, you know, the staff of I don't know if anybody else watches that, but
See, now I just want to know, are you casting grease, but you're actually casting with butter? So now there's just butter.
I am casting
everywhere.
grease, but one of the components is butter, so
It's so Freely's just gonna go and just lay and roll around in the butter puddle after this. Like he's done fighting. He's like, ah.
Oh man,
Okay,
basting.
not only when we kill them, it's gonna be so tasty.
And it's also important too, because sometimes the feedback we'll get is, well, it's impossible to have psionic material in D&D without a dedicated psionic class. Well, again, that's why it's important to remind everybody, psionic material in D&D didn't have a class until 2nd edition. Psionic material in D&D was first introduced without any class associated with it, because that actually was part of the point. Part of the point in 1st edition D&D is that it was this amazing internal power that could pop up in anybody.
Do you have detect a curse?
No.
Okay.
I think the way to detect a curse is you just take the treasure and you see what happens.
no.
Ooh, I have a test I want to do. I want to try and like touch it with one of the Beanie Baby hands. Like just be like,
Okay.
zap it. Zap Beanie Baby.
You Vargas, you reach out and you stretch your hand toward it, and you feel almost a pull toward it as you touch the Beanie Baby to it, but nothing happens.
I do not want to be responsible for all of Hoobastank's.
Wait.
Stank.
Hooper Duke King.
Oh no!
We have broken.
You flushed our DM.
I imagine snortling and shortling going on aplenty. Right, so need a name? What's the name?
I told them.
What's this about? I can now mimic most of what you say in your voice, no less. Delightful. You say delightful a lot.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Is that true? Is that now you have? Because that's a very good impression. Now, have I just given this to you?
You've allowed me to take on your voice and learn the way that you speak.
The way that wakes you up and leaves you feeling refreshed after just one cup.
Wait,
It is the light, it is the way, and you need at least 3 cups every day.
Oh my
When
god!
you have your coffee true, you will drink it and it'll go through. And though you must be in the bathroom, you will see that. Look, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. Look, you understand. I was helping you. That's what this was all about. All right. So just take it. I'm a god. That's how that works. All right. Peace out. And then that'll.
Awesome stuff. I love seeing all the different casts of people playing D&D together, and I applaud everyone on the D&D channel as well as in the greater internet for shifting to playing in person to potentially playing online using webcams and video conferencing technology. It's pretty awesome to see. We're all doing it. I'm doing it here now with D&D News, and it is great to see the changing possibilities. Some shows were already doing that, obviously, but some have adapted, and I'm looking at you, D4, for doing that. And then I also want to give a shout out to Todd Kenrick's hand popping up over there. I'd really enjoy that. So thanks for keeping the slew of content from D&D Beyond continuing. We got a chance to chat with B. Dave Walters on Dragon Talk last week. and he mentioned many of the shows that he's working on, some of them with D&D Beyond, and that's been really fantastic to see the amount of creativity that continues for these types of live play shows, and there'll be more coming in the weeks and months to come. So kudos to everybody on that front. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about a thing called the D&D Adventurers League. Did you guys want to hear about it? Do you know what the D&D Adventurers League is? Well, it is the official play campaign allowing you to create a character within the Adventurers League and then take that character to various home games and online play, and then eventually when things open up to game stores, charity events, and conventions, things like that. And it's very easy now to find or start Adventurers League games online, and you can go to the D&D AdventurersLeague.org to find out more information all about that. But I wanted to highlight some news that they've got going on, and one of the things is that as part of the stay-at-home, play-at-home, we have been offering tons of D&D Adventurers League titles for free during this promotion, including The Courting of Fire, The Scroll Thief, Drums in the Marsh, Tales, Trees, Tell, Outlaws of the Iron Root, and, of course, The Sunless Citadel that you can get free on D&D Beyond, Roll20, and Fantasy Grounds. We would love you to show us your coloring skills as much as you can through the stay-at-home, play-at-home thing out there. And if you could send your images, in addition to tagging me on Twitter, like I said earlier, if you could send the images of what you've produced similar to this one, say this one right here, if you want to color this in and let us know what you think about it, send it in to community@dndadventurersleague.org, and we might be able to show them right here and give you an appropriately socially distanced live stream high five. That's right. That's what we shall do, as well as high five any of the littles in your crew who helped color that with you. So make it happen if you can. And I want to clue everyone into Adventurers Wanted, which is happening this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here on twitch.tv/D&D. Adventurers Wanted is the D&D Adventurers League monthly live stream that goes through all the fun stuff that Adventurers League is doing. And today, or rather this week, on Friday, they'll be talking to Ginny Loveday and Noah Grand all about organizing online events such as Maydays. And you may ask, what is Maydays? Well, it is a 10-day online charity convention that's held from May 8th to May 18th, covering all time zones, game systems, and multiple charities. So you can look for information on how to run games during that event, including D&D Adventurers League stuff, and go to maydays.online to make that happen. There's also another upcoming Adventurers League online event. Many folks are organizing events online. The Con of Champions is an online convention accepting signups right now for playing and running tabletop and D&D Adventurers League games. That one runs May 23rd through the 25th. Con of Champions hopes to raise money to keep tabletop.events up and running as a virtual gaming resource. And so far, they are more than halfway to their goal. You can find out more at tabletop.events/conventions/con-of-champions for more information. I'm sure there's a link in the chat right now. But I think that's a great cause. In addition to all the amazing charities and things that we support, tabletop.events is a wonderful application that sells tickets for many of the big conventions out there. As you know, it's one of the only systems that I know of that allows you to buy an overall badge for a event and then individual tickets within it. It's set up essentially for gaming conventions like those that run D&D Adventurers League. So anything you can do to help them, their income has been completely shifted, let's say, due to not many physical in-person events happening right now. So this Con of Champions is a way to get it going and support the groups that are in our community. And I hope those of you listening spend some time and even play in some of these games and get things going that way. I also want to shout out some things happening in the Dungeon Masters Guild. I don't have any news necessarily from them this week, other than all the fun free things that we are now showing off as due to our stay-at-home, play-at-home promotion. You can keep your beholder eyes on dnd.wizards.com/remote to find out what is free each day. But all the titles that I've been mentioning are available through the Dungeon Masters Guild, which is your go-to marketplace for licensed D&D adventures and supplements. It is a great hotbed of creativity that you might have seen only, in the before times, in the pre-internet days. It might have only happened with zines and photocopies of D&D material handed surreptitiously in hallways and that type of thing. But now all that creativity that in the past was relegated to a small distribution, now it's all available on the Dungeon Masters Guild, and it's so exciting. So I think you should check it out if you can. Great. Another fun thing that I want to make sure folks are aware of, other than that I still have my minicam going, and there's a fun little guy hanging out. It's a choker and a trapper. Hello, choker trapper. How are you doing today, buddy? We are out of focus, and that is okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm using this as much as possible before I get into showing off some great miniatures, because there's so many out there to show. I backed that up for the white dragon, not realizing that most of the medium-sized things won't look as good if I do that. So here, let's take a look at that right now. What do you think of that right now? Yeah, totally out of focus. Great. We'll figure this out one day, folks. The Zoom call was a good idea. It's not draining, although my phone is getting a little hot, so maybe I should not do this as a plugged in anymore. Maybe that'll help anyway. We like to freeform around here. Sorry, folks. Some things that happen when a book comes out, we stop talking about it. And so I wanted to make sure to shout out Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, as well as the ring light reflection right now on the book. I just keep finding wonderful nuggets that I want to use in my games as Dungeon Master within this book. And one of the coolest things in this was the Heroic Chronicle, which was a way to quickly roll up a backstory for your character in a way that felt really awesome and natural, especially and built in with the cultures that Matt Mercer and crew from Critical Role put in this book. But I want to read a little bit from the Heroic Chronicle and then highlight some of the awesome tables, because that's one of the best parts about this book, is that it's full of tables, and everyone loves rolling for stuff on tables, or at least I do. Heroic Chronicle. The Heroic Chronicle is a system that allows players and dungeon masters to work together to build a compelling character story. It even allows characters to gain additional proficiencies, magic items, spells, or feats before the campaign begins. Every player out there is like, yes, please, can I have more things to play with? So you can start off as rolling what your social status is on this table, which gives you a clue of what your background is, as well as what allies or rivals you might have within individual factions. You can roll to determine what background you might have, which I really appreciate, because sometimes the background choices, now with the amount of supplements that have come out, there's a lot of choice there. So having something guide me, even though I might not necessarily pick that exact one, it at least is like, I hadn't considered, and I'm going to roll a die so that you can see. Well, actually, you know what? Can I do that? This is going to be weird. I'm going to use my mini cam for a die roller cam. What? Let's see how it happens. I just realized you're not going to actually be able to see what it is. It's not a 20. It's actually a 2. Anyway, I rolled a 2. So that means I would be an acolyte of the Luxembourg. Now I want to know more about the Luxembourg, don't you? And see, that's why I like dice rolls, because now I'm like, what is a Luxembourg? How can I find out more? But there's, like I said, there's tons of tables that you can roll on to determine what you might want to do. But, there's family relationships, and then have some scenarios for each one of those relationships that you have with allies that you get from the first table, rival relationships that you might have with rivals, as well as the identities of those folks. But my favorite table on this is something that I never really see in Dungeons & Dragons ever, and that is the favorite food page. Have you guys seen this? It's on page 197 in Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, and it continues a little bit to the other page. But when do you ever think about what your favorite food is as an adventurer? You know, we don't really dramatize that in any way, and so I think it's really cool to be able to do this, because not only do you get information about your character and the specific choices that they have made, but then you learn about the culture that you're in, that you're occupied in. So that's pretty cool. So if you're from the Menagerie Coast, for example, which is one of the 4 major regions in Wildemount that is dramatized. Of course, I don't have a D8 handy, but I'm going to make do. Oh, you know what? I might actually do this instead. All right, I wanted to show this off anyway because it's just a cool kind of artifact. This is a healing potion. 2d4 plus 2. It's a physical healing potion, and as you can see, it's got some red. It's not actually liquid, but it looks like liquid in there. And then the dice of 2d4. And when you drink a healing potion, you get 3. But in this case, I'm using this as a D8. So I'm going to add those together, and that gives me 4. So if I am from the Menagerie Coast, my favorite food is honey flame bread. That's a fried dessert soaked in honey and coated in Marquesian spices. Yum! I want that right now in my belly. Very cool. There's also some, stuff about dumplings, a steamed potato bread that can be served with any meal. Well, that's a good definition for a dumpling, even though I don't know if that's the definition I would go with as far as dim sum goes, but we'll see. In Western Winadeer, Dampfnoodle is a favorite dish that you can have. It's a regal. It's prim and proper. It's a regal steamed roll served in sweet custard or with savory potatoes. Well, I would like some Dampfnoodle right now. Maybe that's just because I didn't eat enough lunch, but, there you go. Who out there wants some Dampfnoodle? Anybody? Honey. All right. I now want to open up some miniatures for you all so that you can take a look, right? I know you're all hungry. Jack wants some taters, as I think he would like. All right. So I am opening up some blind boxes from Icons of the Realms, Volos, and Mordenkainen's Foes. There are 44 figures in this set from our friends at WizKids. I've opened up a whole bunch of them, so you might get some doubles, but that's okay, right? And as someone said in the chat just now, yes, I do plan to eat them. I think they will be delicious. We shall see. Well, I like this guy. Or, yeah, I like this. Here. Making it happen with the mini cam. Making it happen. Da-da. This is an Autumn Eladrin. And he is decidedly out of focus. There we go. That's a little bit better. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? And he doesn't have an apple. I think that's a bird. Is that a bird he's holding? Autumn Eladrin are pretty cool, and I like them. That's the first one that we've gotten here out of this box. Was that autumn or was that spring? Did I just say that was? Yeah, that was spring, people. I don't know why I was looking at this green guy and I read it and it said spring, and I was saying autumn. Sorry about that. My brain was gone for a bit. I think it was the bird. Threw me off. Ooh, wait, what's this guy? Let us see. Maybe I'll do a little bit of here. That's an orc of Luthic. Hello, my name is Orc of Luthic. I didn't see you there. It's good to meet your acquaintance. Yes. That guy almost looks like he's got a mouth on his belly. which is strange. Oops. I didn't mean to actually do that, but I couldn't resist. That's one orc out of Mythic that you should never, ever play with ever again. We'll burn it. It's not going to be involved in any of your games anymore. Speaking of which, this guy, he might. This is a very tiny creature. Ah. Man, one day we'll get this right, I swear. I've lost the ability to stop the autofocus. Maybe it's because this guy is tiny. And he won't focus. Come on, come on. And because this is a Zoom call, I'm not using the camera, so I can't actually focus on it. Ugh, that's making me so mad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I failed you. I failed you for the last time. I might need to remove all that stuff behind it. That might be the secret that is screwing all this up. But we shall see. I got one more miniature from this box that I want to show you. It's the large one. It's the large miniature. You get 4 miniatures out of these blind boxes. 3 of them are medium-sized or small-sized. And then the last one is a large miniature. And I want to show you. I'll be using this guy a bunch, because he looks like several different creatures. And extremely terrible looking. It's a steel panther. You can barely see him. I got to put a white background back there. You can barely see that he is made of... Oh no, it's a steel predator. Steel predator. It kind of looks like Alien. Really? I'm not going to lie. It's got some H.R. Geiger type of feelings going on there. This steel predator, he is gonna steal your heart. No, not the right usage. Okay, my bad. All right, I'm gonna open up another one of these boxes, and we're gonna see what we get. Bop, bop it up, bop it up, bop it up, bop. I meant to have many of these pre-opened. That one was not, but this one is. This blind box. What shall we get? What shall we get? Let us see. Ooh, hey. Should I start with the large? Yeah, why not? You guys like this feller? He looks quite nice. Look at him. Look at him go. Hi. Ugh. Oh wait. Here we go. This is the crank I wanted to. Whoa! Oh, this guy's hello. We're going. Oh, that was actually kind of a nice reveal when you got to be like go up. We got moving cameras out here. This guy is an ogre. That's right. He is an ogre bolt launcher. Hello, Mr. Ogre Bolt Launcher. It's 32B/44. I need to ask what the B is, actually. I wonder if there's a variance to these. And maybe that's why it's 32B. But anybody got a clue about that? Maybe we can get some insider information there for you all. This guy is the next one. You might have seen him already. And now I got to think ahead and get ready to move this down. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh, hi. How are you? I am tiny. I am very small. I'm the opposite. Although he does have a crossbow too, just like that guy does. He's like, I'm gonna shoot you. You're gonna get it, you little one. Oh, I was really hoping it was gonna focus on that guy then. What are you talking about? I don't have to go. I'm invisible. He's not actually invisible. Because he's a Darrow. No, Darrows can't turn invisible, can they? That's Duergar. Anybody know in the chat? You let me know. I feel like when I ran out of the abyss, they had some magical properties, the Darrows. They're able to escape quickly, that's for sure. Oh, Well, this one is extremely detailed, and I hope you are able to see them in all of their glory. I got to work on these reveals. It's hard for me to tell what's cut off or not, so my bad there. Here, let's try this one more time. Yes, this is the Githyanki Supreme Commander. Hello, Commander. Am I supreme enough for you? Oh, I am very angry. I lost the focus. I'm back. Hello. Yes. All eyes on me. Don't mind the background. Not important, I say. That's how Githyanki talk. I don't know if you know that. And by that, I mean they don't move their mouths. They just look at you like this creepy guy is doing right now. And then you hear a voice in your mind because they have psionic powers. Yeah, Githyanki. They're our friends, but they're not. Or are they? And this is a good one. I like this guy. Again, I'll be using him a lot when fighting natural monsters. Here, let's hope that this gets a good focus on here. I have a feeling you won't be, but here, there you go. Yep, nope, not focused at all. Can you tell that I am a cobra? Perhaps you can only tell that I have a wedding ring on my hand. Why won't you focus on me? Look at me, I'm a cobra. There you go. Hey, now I have to hold it. Hi, I'm a cobra. Oh, now you're not even looking at me anymore. That's an iron cobra, people. Oops. Well, now I dropped him and he's dead. So, problem solved. We figured out everything. No worries. I want you all to have this kitty because kitties are cool. And especially purple kitties. And adventurers who are slightly not happy. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I can do this all day, guys. I can just put random things up in front of cameras and either sing or make voices for them. But I love opening up these things for you here on D&D News. Again, these are all miniatures from this set, Volo's and Mordenkainen's Foes, that you can get from WizKids right now, or through your friendly local game store, which I hope you are able to support during this time, as I mentioned earlier on in D&D News. Again, I'm so sorry about figuring out the focus, but we will make things happen as we continuously improve things here for D&D News. And I like you. I like you being here. I like you hanging out. And then we shall put things in order on previous and future days going forward. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. Thank you for being here and watching and continuing to tune in each week. There's a wealth of amazing things happening on D&D's Twitch channel, as well as pushing video on demand towards YouTube. So those of you watching this on YouTube, there's tons of stuff that we're going to continue to show out there in the days and weeks to come, and we're here for it. And if you guys got any ideas or things to improve with programming, things you might want to see or learn about, go forward, let me know. In fact, I'll say it right here before I get out of here. We're always looking for more lore you should know topics for the podcast, for Dragon Talk, and we tinge them with upcoming products sometimes, but we also just like to know, like, hey, I need to know more about X for my game, and there's not a lot written, or I don't have the specific supplement for that. So, if you have some of those topics out there, let me know. Shout out me on the Twitters, and we can hopefully put them on the list and get to talking about it with Mr. Chris Perkins or some of the awesome folks who come on to do D&D lore you should know with me. All right. You're all the best. Thank you so much. Continue to watch all the great stuff that's happening here during this time, and we appreciate you. You are loved. Get into groups to play D&D, or just to chat about awesome characters that you want to make, or maybe even just roll up some random heroic Chronicle characters in Explorer's Guide to Wildemount together. And I can't wait to hear about that too. All right. Enjoy. I'm going to sign off now, and I'll be back next week here on D&D News. And you can see me return this Friday on Dragon Talk with Shelley at 12 noon. But don't forget, Adventurers Wanted with Ma'at Crook is right before that. So check it out on 11 a.m. Tons of great D&D content coming your way. All right. Bye, everybody.